I'm Carrie with Carrie Refurnishings, and today I'm going to be doing what you've probably thought about doing already, refinishing your dining room table. You guys get an added bonus today. I was going to just take a piece of furniture, paint it, and show you guys that process, but then what ended up happening was a couple of pretty typical issues surfaced that I then had to solve.
The story starts where they often start, with a client sending me a listing from Facebook Marketplace.
At first glance, I thought it was gorgeous. Look at those legs.
But when I saw the table in person, the scratches were a lot deeper than they initially appeared.
Once I saw the surface of the table and saw those deep divots, I realized I was gonna have to reach in my bag of tricks. This one's one of my favorites.
I used wood filler. You can get wood filler at any hardware store as well as online. Make sure you don't get wood putty. Wood putty doesn't solidify. To use wood filler, you just squeeze it out into the divots or cracks that you're working with and make sure you smooth it flat. As you can see, I went through and filled in any deep scratch or divot on the entire surface of the table.
Now, again, typically paint on piece. However, since we use that wood filler, I want to make sure the surface is nice and smooth. That's the whole reason I got the wood filler out to begin with. So I am going to grab that 220 grit sandpaper and just give it a general sanding just to even out that texture. Next was the easiest part. I got my standard supplies and slapped a coat of paint on that puppy.
I used DIY Paint's Sandy Blonde, a fine mist sprayer, and DIY's blending brush. Clay-based paints are very thick, so using a fine mist sprayer helps reduce your brush strokes by relaxing the paint.
Here's where things got tricky. The next issue I could not have solved without DIY Paint's latest product. Salvation Solution to the rescue.
You see that big ugly spot? It's actually not uncommon in old wood for the oils to seep up through the paint after you get your first coat on. Luckily, we have this magic stuff, Salvation Solution. It comes in clear and in white. Once your paint is dry, you can do typically 2 coats of Salvation Solution over your problem areas, and it will seal in those oils so that you can continue painting and not see any more of that oil seeping through. Voila, isn't it pretty?
Last thing to do is get a top coat on. I get this question constantly. What kind of top coat do I use for my piece? First of all, do not make the mistake that I first made when I began painting furniture. Not putting a top coat on at all. You really need to make sure you seal your piece, or the first bit of moisture will take your paint right off of your furniture.
I absolutely love the look and feel of wax, but for durability, I go with Big Top. I am applying it today using a sponge. Big Top is a liquid, so you want to use a method that won't result in drips. I absolutely love how this one turned out. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.
Clay and chalk-based paints. Chalk paste, wood saver.